Hello everybody, welcome back to my studio, and if you're new here, welcome to my studio. Have you noticed anything different? I changed the vinyl on my desk. The desk itself is just like a stark white, but I got this like wooden vinyl and it's actually like pretty convincing at some angles. Also, my voice is still a mess. I actually didn't even have a voice for the past 2 days. So it's coming back, but like I don't know what is up with that because the rest of me feels great and I don't even feel sick anymore, but my voice just is not here. So just bear with me. Today we are doing a little bit of a haul. I didn't get that many things, but this past weekend we, my husband and I took my brother to the city. And in the city, there is a giant art store called Blick, and they have like pretty much anything you can imagine. So I used this opportunity to get a couple new art supplies that I've been wanting to try out. So let's open this up and see what we got. Let me just set everything off to the side. So the first thing I got is a little washi tape. It's got bugs on it. I've been just really into like plants and insects lately, so I thought this would be pretty cute to use when I make paintings and whatnot. And then I also got this brush. It's just like one of those bamboo brushes. I've seen some artists use them, and I've always been curious about them. I think you use it with watercolor. I'm not totally sure, but we're gonna try it out and see. And then next, I got these colored pencils. These are Caran D'ache colored pencils. I have Arrtx colored pencils. Those are the ones that I use all the time, and I really like them. They work great. I thought it would be nice to get a couple professional colored pencils and see how they fare against the like more student grade. So yeah, I just got orange, black, and white because I think those colors look really cool together, and it might be fun to make some like more graphical drawings in my sketchbook. And then the last thing I got, well, I also got a brush. Where is it? This brush. I've been using it, so it's a little bit wet. I'm still working on my bee painting. It's not done yet, but I'm hoping to have it done by next week. But anyway, yeah, it's another Velvet Touch brush. I really like this brand. Just a size 5 because the next one up I have is size 8, so I just wanted one that was a little bit smaller. But the last thing I got are these Tombow watercolor brush pens. And so they have 2 nibs. So this one is a brush, and then the other side is a bullet nib. Can you focus? There we go. And when I was picking out colors, I was just picking out colors that I liked, and I ended up picking out like everything was either blue or purple because I've been really into this like periwinkle blue lately. So I forced myself to get the pink, yellow, and green because if you got like 6 of them, you got a discount. Did I get 7? 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 7. I thought I got 6, but I guess I got 7. Okay, anyway, if you got 6 or more, you got a slight discount. So I thought, why not take the opportunity? So we're gonna swatch everything out and then make something in my sketchbook. And I'm going to switch to voiceover for that. I will see you in a bit. Okay, voiceover time. Really quick, I apologize if you can hear any lawnmower sounds in the background. My husband is mowing the lawn, but I just wanted to get this done, so hopefully it's not too bad. And if it does get too bad, I'll try to pause the recording and then talk afterwards. But really, Kitty, right now? So I was going to use my pink strawberry sketchbook, the one that I normally use, but I decided to use this Etcher, what is it called? I'm not sure. It's an Etcher sketchbook, and it has 100% cotton watercolor paper. So it's pretty fancy, and I got it a few years ago, and the reason why I haven't used it much is because it's fancy. But I figured I spent the money whether I use it or not, so I might as well use it, right? So I'm using my Etcher sketchbook. The first thing I did was make some swatches of the colored pencils, the Tombow, and then the Tombow watercolor brush pens. And when I bought the colored pencils, I didn't expect much. I thought they would be nice, you know, but I really like the colored pencils that I have, so I didn't think they would be that much different. But oh my god, I was wrong. And now I wish that I had a bunch of these colored pencils because I love how they feel. They are creamy almost. I don't totally know how to describe them. Like, they remind me of the Neocolor 2 wax pastels, which are like crayons. Like, they're soft, but they're not too soft. I could still get like a good definition. And sorry, my cat was trying to drink my paint water. But I'm kicking myself for not getting these and for getting the Neocolor 2s instead, because I think I like these a lot better. So I don't know, maybe I'll be able to sell my Neocolor 2s somewhere and get more of these colored pencils because they just feel so nice to work with. It's hard to visually see a difference. I did do a little comparison between the Arrtx colored pencils and the Caran D'ache ones. I think these are called the Luminance or Luminescence. I think they're what are they called? I have it right here. They're Luminance. And I could feel the difference. They just feel really nice to work with. So it was kind of love at first sight. So yeah, we'll see about that. I'll try to get my hands on some more colors, but they're so expensive. And even just from this artwork alone, like this little sketchbook session, I used a good 1/2 inch of the black colored pencil. So I'm worried that they don't last very long. So that's another thing to think about. But just, they feel really nice. So I definitely recommend them. And then I use the brush pens, and I don't have too much to say. They feel like watercolors, except in a pen. And I've used watercolor like brush pens before, but that was before I really liked using watercolors in general, so I didn't really get much out of those. But I like these a lot. They feel great. I like the colors that I got. I do wish that I got a yellow, like a real yellow. The yellow one I mean, it looks yellow in the video, but it's actually like a lime green. And then the orange one, I really like that color, but I do wish I just had like a normal yellow. But the other colors I am like in love with. Even that sagey green, I wasn't sure. The moment I did a swatch, I was like, this isn't the color I thought it was going to be, but I really like it. And after swatching them, I decided to take the brush that I got and put some water on it and then see if I could re-wet the colors. I mean, I knew that I could because, you know, they were watercolors, but I just wanted to make sure because they're very marker-like, but they re-wet beautifully. You could still kind of see the scribble marks, but that's okay. I don't really expect markers or like, I don't expect this type of art supply to completely melt away when you add water to it, you know? I don't think that's the point of them, so that doesn't bother me at all. And they also blended really nicely, so big fan of those as well. And I think it'll be really nice to just bring with me if I just want to like bring my sketchbook to a coffee shop. Well, probably not a coffee shop, but if I just want to go outside and do some sketching while my kid's playing outside or something like that, it'd be nice to be able to add some quick color to my artwork. So yeah, I'm really glad that I got these. So onto the sketch itself. I drew this off camera. I drew something different in my sketchbook, like my pink sketchbook that I was going to use for this video, but then I decided to use my Etcher sketchbook instead to give like the watercolors like a real chance, because watercolors never look the way they should in a regular sketchbook, so I just wanted to give them like the best possible chance, and I'm glad that I did because it was a joy to work with these, honestly. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I drew this off camera and I just really wanted to draw bees. I've been really into bees lately. I've been working on my bee painting and hopefully that'll be done next week. I think I may have said that. No, I said that earlier. But yeah, I'm hoping to finish it next week. I finally started to add more color to it, and I think we're getting out of the ugly stage. With this, I wanted to do a few bees that are native to the US because I'm not going to get on a soapbox or anything, but people talk a lot about honeybees, and I get it. They're adorable and they make honey, and honey is delicious, but they're not native here. They're from Europe, I think, but not here. But there are a lot of really awesome bees that are from the US, and especially the eastern United States, which is where I live. And so I wanted to just draw a couple of them to showcase them. So the first one I'm working on here is the bumblebee, and then the one directly to the right of the bumblebee is a spring beauty bee, and that is very specific to this part of the United States because it specifically relies on one flower, which is called the Virginia Spring Beauty. If you look it up, it's gorgeous. It's like this, it's a really tiny flower that only shows up in spring, and it's supposed to show up in the woods, but unfortunately there's a lot of like invasive species, so you don't get to see them as often as you could otherwise. But I noticed some of these flowers growing in my yard this year, and it made me so happy to see because I have been trying to get my yard more naturalized. That's just something that I've been like really into lately, and it's making my heart happy to work on. So I've been just really into it lately, and I also recently ordered a ton of native plants to this area. Probably more than I should have, and maybe more than I can handle, but you know, we'll see. Anyway, about this bee itself, it's called the Spring Beauty bee because it specifically relies on the Spring Beauty flower. It only uses the pollen of this specific flower and no other flower. So if this flower doesn't exist, the bee can't exist. And that's also why the pollen on the bee is pink, because the pollen on the flower is pink, and it's just so cute and so pretty, and the bee is really tiny. So yeah, I thought that one was really nice. And then of course, you know, the regular old bumblebee. We see them everywhere. They're big, they're fluffy. I love them. And then the next bee is also super cool. It's the leaf cutter bee, and they're solitary bees, so like they don't have a hive or anything. And they cut pieces of leaves, like nice clean cuts using their mandibles in order to like make their nests. And then they make their nests in rotting wood. And then speaking of wood, the last two bees are carpenter bees, and they're the ones on the bottom. I don't know why, but they have like a really cool bald spot on their back that kind of looks like an eyeball, and I just think that's really neat. And they make little holes in wood and then build their nests in wood as well. So I did the one on the bottom, like kind of popping out of one of the little holes. And I love bees. They're awesome. They do great things. Without them and other pollinators, we wouldn't have food, we wouldn't have flowers, we wouldn't have trees. So bees are great. But anyway, okay, I'm off my soapbox now. Let's talk about the actual art. So I really had fun working with these pens. They are really colorful. They're just easy to work with. Because they're markers, you don't have to mix colors. I tried to use all of the colors that I got, so this page is a little bit of a color vomit, but I'm okay with that. I like how it looks. And I just started with coloring in all the bees with the markers. I don't know if I want to call them markers or pens. I guess I'll just call them pens. But I colored in all the bees with the pens, and after I colored them, I then went in with some colored pencil. And I kind of regret going in with the colored pencil. I wanted to try them out because I just got them. So I used the orange one a little bit, and then I went in with the black colored pencil, and I definitely think that I may have overdone it because I was really liking how it looked with just the watercolor. But then after the colored pencil, I thought it was just too dark. but that could also just be me because my personal preference, I'm not a big fan of, like, I'm just not used to using such dark lines in my artwork. So maybe getting a black colored pencil was a bad idea, but I just really wanted to try it, and I don't regret trying it out. That's what sketchbooks are for. And I really like some of these drawings, so I might even like trace them and redo them in maybe like some different colors using my normal colored pencils. So, but yeah, I do wish I maybe got a few other colors of the colored pencils, but I still had fun drawing them, and I still like how they turned out, even though it doesn't fully feel like something that I would do, maybe, to me at least. Either way, it was a fun experiment, and I had fun with these supplies, and I'm going to keep using them, so I'm really glad that I got them. I'm kicking myself, though, because I didn't end up using that bamboo brush, and I was so curious about it, and then I just used the Princeton brush for the entire time. But what can I say? They're my favorite brushes, so I'm just used to using them. I'm probably going to use this sketchbook a lot more though, especially since I'm close to finishing my normal sketchbook. So I have plenty of time to experiment, so I'm not too worried about not using it for this specific sketchbook page. I don't have too much left to talk about for the artwork itself, but I did want to briefly talk about what I plan to do for the future. So I've been uploading on Fridays, except for today. This video is on a Monday, and I think I'm going to keep doing that because I work throughout the week as well. So trying to get art finished and edit it and post it by Friday is just kind of too much for me, and I just generally have more energy on the weekends. So I just figure I'll give myself the weekends to either do the drawing part or do some last minute editing before posting on Monday. So just a quick little change. But other than that, enjoy the rest of the art. There's just a little bit left. And here's how it turned out. Definitely different from what I usually do, but I like it. I love the bees. I really like the colors. I'm still not so sure about the black outlines, but that's okay. It was, like I said, it was a fun experiment. But let me know what you think down in the comments, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! And thank you so much to my incredible patrons, Cup of Leo, Harry Hamster, Subside, Nene, Mikey, and Gumi. You guys are super duper awesome, and I always appreciate your support.